The man never imagined that his well-intentioned act of helping the girl join an adventuring party would end up pushing her into a living hell. Under the guise of being a legitimate team, a group of scoundrels had been systematically luring lone young women into the depths of dungeons to assault them. Just as the girl found herself trapped in despair, a brawny man wielding a kitchen knife suddenly appeared, putting an end to the violence. Not long before this, Brian's restaurant had officially opened. Although his first customer was dressed somewhat oddly, Brian welcomed her warmly, believing that every guest deserved respect. He had absolute confidence in his cooking skills, but to his surprise, the customer only ordered a small bowl of plain rice and communicated entirely through gestures. Sensing her embarrassment, Brian guessed she might be short on money and without a second thought, decided to upgrade her order to a pork cutlet rice bowl. The customer hurriedly gestured that she couldn't afford it, but the moment Brian heard her voice he realized something was off. It turned out that Haley was a rare female swordsman. Because of her gender, she had faced all kinds of unfair discrimination. Even after joining a team, she would eventually be kicked out. That's why she had tried to hide her identity earlier. Hearing her story, Brian comforted her kindly. To his surprise, he learned that her idol was actually his former vice captain, renowned as the Crimson Sword. Haley dreamed of one day becoming a swordsman of that caliber, yet at the moment, she was so broke she could barely afford a meal. As they talked, Brian's cooking was soon served. The moment she saw the golden brown pork cutlet rice placed before her, Haley couldn't hold back. In no time, she had devoured the entire bowl. She promised to repay Brian once she found a party, and Brian, intent on helping her fully, offered to keep an eye out for team opportunities and to provide her with free meals in the meantime. Before long, Brian's exceptional culinary skills won over more customers. Combined with the presence of the lovely server, the restaurant was soon filled with voices of praise. Although Utility remained quiet, she was already a world apart from the girl she had been during her days as a slave. As he cooked, Brian listened carefully to the diner's conversations, but he never expected that the very first team he inquired about would readily agree to take Haley in. The leader even said she could join the next day. Haley was overjoyed at the news, but Brian cautioned her to think it over carefully. Lost in the delight of the meal, however, she was already dreaming of earning money to repay him. But it was from the last two guests of the day that he heard a chilling piece of news. Recently, an adventuring party had been specifically targeting lone young women, luring them deep into dungeons to assault them. After succeeding, these scoundrels would simply move to another city. This immediately reminded Brian of the group he had encountered earlier. The next day, Haley joined the adventuring team as planned. Although the captain described the mission as a simple material gathering task, wanting to make a good impression on her new teammates, Haley eagerly took the lead. Unlike her usual gentle demeanor, Haley dispatched the monsters with swift, precise strikes. Though her level wasn't high, her teammates praised her skill. Used to being underestimated, Haley was touched by their encouragement and pushed herself even harder. Before long, however, she was completely exhausted, and it was at that moment the scoundrels revealed their true nature. The captain signaled the mage to cast a recovery spell on Haley, but instead, her body went completely numb. Only then did she realize how naive she had been. Brian's warning echoed in her mind, but it was too late for regrets. Suddenly, a man intervened. Seeing the muscular figure holding a kitchen knife, the captain immediately ordered a party member to use appraisal magic on him, but the level gap was far too wide. The spell had no effect. In the next instant, Brian reversed his grip on the kitchen knife, flashed behind the scoundrel, and struck him down. Before losing consciousness, Haley caught a glimpse of what looked like a chef preparing a meal. Only the ingredients were the men who had tried to assault her. By the time Haley woke again, she was lying in the Adventurers Guild lounge. Her attackers had been tied up and dumped at the dungeon entrance, where they would eventually face legal punishment. Haley recounted her nightmare to Brian, who admitted that he, as the one who introduced her to the team, also bore some responsibility. He then invited her to dinner.